Hey folks, Dan Frio here with your closing bell for April 17th, 2025. So if you have a mortgage with us, you are locked in at this point because mortgage rates made a turn. And we're going to tell you what happened today. Mortgage rates, they started to move the other way, so we locked in people. And here's the reason why. We go over to the Dow Jones and the equity markets. The Dow Jones is down 500. The NASDAQ was positive and it just turned negative. So there's really not much news here. What you don't see, and look through there and even go to Yahoo Finance, what don't you see? Well, you don't see the world ending here. What you do see is Trump's kind of pissed off at the federal chairman for not cutting rates. And then down through here, Trump says China has reached out on tariffs. TikTok deal may have to wait. So maybe there's talks involved, maybe there's not. But here's what happened right now, and I'll tell you the reason why, and I think so. Mortgage rates turned today, and if you watch my channel every day, you watch this, and this is telling us where rates are going. And when this arrow or this chart goes down, rates are going up. So let's get and recap today what happened. My name is Dan Frio. I do this report 2 times a day so you could figure out what the heck's going on with these things. Because if you're watching this video, you're either trying to buy a house or you're trying to refinance. Okay, and if that's what you're trying to do, hopefully you use my services because I'm licensed in all 50 states. And our slogan here is one application, one credit pool. We're going to shop your loan to over 30 different lenders. How do we do that? I'll give you that information at the end. So let's figure out what happened today, why rates, they at least turned direction, because over the last 4 or 5 trading sessions, rates kept coming down, down, and down. So is today a reversal? Let's get to my thoughts. So right through here, you didn't have really much information coming out other than Netflix. Netflix came out yesterday in their earnings report, and it was fantastic. And then we had today where United Healthcare, they're not looking so good right now. So right through here, Netflix post earnings exceeding expectations. Here's that information that I gave you. Trump gains, again, calls for Fed to cut rates as Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. And then you have United Healthcare plunging, and that's the biggest piece of what's cutting into the Dow Jones. The rest of the markets, let's just say they're flat, okay? But you go to the bond market and it's getting killed right now. What's happening? I'll kind of say this is what I'm thinking. Okay, so there's not news. The world isn't ending. There's really no negotiation things. But what's happening tomorrow? Well, tomorrow we're going to have the markets closed. Okay, or at least most of the day. So the traders are going to have 3-4 days of sitting on the sidelines, not being able to do anything. Why does that matter? Well, we don't know what tariffs are going to happen. We don't know what's going to go on with Russia and Ukraine. We don't know what's going to go on in Gaza. We don't know what's going to go on with the Fed. We don't know what's going to, you get my point. We don't know what's going to go on with anything. So here's my thought. You got a lot of traders just dumping out of the markets right now. You got them getting out of bonds. You also have them getting out of stocks right now because they're like, we're just going to take our money, set it on the sidelines right now, and maybe get back in on Monday and Tuesday. That's my thought behind this, because we had data coming out on the economic calendar that didn't really skew the markets this morning, and there's really not any news coming out tomorrow. So that's what my thoughts are with a lot of this stuff. But I do have some information to tell you guys if you are looking for a mortgage. If you're looking to refinance or buy a home, here's what I'm going to, this is my public service announcement. Please don't turn the dial because this is going to stop trigger leads. So before you put in a mortgage application or a car loan application, you got to go to this site. I didn't create it. It's called optoutprescreen.com. What this does is it stops trigger leads. Now, what are trigger leads? Trigger leads are when a bank pulls your credit because you're looking for a mortgage or a car loan. Okay, what happens at that point, the credit agencies now have free reign to sell that data. This is going to stop it. So if you don't want that data being sold, your financial data being sold by the credit agencies and they're profiting off of it, if you want to stop that, just go to optoutprescreener.com. But here's my thinking. Let's go short term, and I try to do this daily. My short term, my midterm, and my long term thoughts on all this. Right now, you got my thoughts on what I think over the next 3, 4, 5, 6 days. I'm locking everybody because I don't want to go through the weekend not knowing what could possibly happen. Not only the weekend, you have also an extended holiday weekend, and a lot of traders, most likely on Wall Street, they're going to be on vacation. Okay, that's the truth behind this. So tomorrow, I'm not sure if the markets are open at all tomorrow or not. I think they might be open half a day, but if they are, it's either going to be flat as a pancake or it'll be completely, all over the map because there's only limited trading. And then wait till Monday or Tuesday, it'll all subside. So tomorrow, don't do anything. Probably don't even look at anything. So come back on Monday, we'll figure out where things are going from there. So that's basically my short term, we're locking you. My midterm, let's go out to next week, the next 2-3 weeks. If you're looking to refinance, get your application in, because these things can turn on a dime. If this thing drops 0.25% again, you might want to jump in. How do you do that? Well, it's not by calling, 5-6 different lenders and then getting a quote and waiting the next day and doing the same thing. This is where we come into play. Okay, so this is where we can help you. If you're looking short term and you're out there trying to buy that first house, let's go to my website. It's therateupdate.com. If you're out there trying to buy that first house, here's how we can help you. Not only am I licensed all over the country, but we're also set up with 30 other lenders. 30, I think it's 33 right now. Now, here's how this works. I don't sell off your data or anything. You'll use me as the loan officer, okay? Our application and the system's right through here, therateupdate.com, and we're tweaking this every day. If you want to put in your application, right above my head, it says apply now. You can click that. Hey, we really don't want you doing that. We want to either schedule a consultation with you or call in. You can schedule a consultation right through here. Right here is our 800 number. Okay, and that's how we want to. We want you to be educated before you just put in an application and lock in. So midterm, if you're refinancing, get in your application. Let us monitor these rates, and when you get to the point where we see a big move one day, I can just lock you in and we can move on. Or you tell me, Dan, let's just wait until it hits this mark, and we'll just wait. Okay, but if you're buying a house, that's the tricky part, because you can't time it on where interest rates are going to go. So here's my thought, and I've talked to several people today on this. They said, Dan, what do I qualify for? So here's what I would use. We have mortgage calculators right here on the website. Just go through here and use the video. That's probably the best one to use. And then here's a mortgage calculator. Just go into that system. And here's what I tell people to do. Put in, what your scenario would be. Are you looking for an FHA or conventional loan? If you don't know, just go with a conventional loan. Click it in there and say, the house I'm looking to buy is $250,000. So that's what you put in. You're wanting to put down, you need to put down at least 3% if you're a first-time home buyer. But if you've bought homes in the past, let's say you're going to need 5% down minimally. So we're going to put 5% in. Now, here's the part where I need you to kind of pay attention. Down through here, the rate, let's just use 7 for right now, 7%. Okay, I know today's rate, 6.87, and they might go down, they might go up. Use 7. And the reason being is I want you to be comfortable with the payment that pops up here, because if you're not, then you're either looking at too expensive of a home or you're just not ready. Okay, so plug in that number, go down through here, the dates don't matter, but the house that you're looking at, get a quote, call your insurance agent, just, check out and see what your homeowner's insurance is going to be, because that number right now is all over the map. I'm going to put in, this is going to be like, say, $1,500, okay? And don't be surprised if you call your insurance agent and it's much more than you expect. All right, then when you're kind of kicking the tires when you're looking at homes, you probably look online and things like that. Pay attention to what the real estate taxes are and go to multiple homes and make sure it's kind of right in the realm, because if one is way off, there's probably something that's kind of off. They either have, maybe they're a disabled veteran and they don't have to pay all their taxes. Maybe they're elderly and they were on a freeze, or they have some kind of discounts. So please try to figure out exactly what the taxes is, because the better the data here, well, the better the data that the outcome is going to be. So let's say the taxes on this are $4,875, okay? This is Homeowners Association. So if you're buying into a condo or a planned unit of development that has association fees, you'd put that in here. But if you're not, put in 0, okay? And then here's what's going to pop up. So now here's what's going to pop up. This is going to give you the most accurate scenario you can get on what that mortgage payment's going to be. So in this case, the payment would be $1,362. Let me get my head out of the way. And then it gives you the criteria and the breakdown of the entire thing. The one thing that it doesn't do on here, oh, hold on, that's not it. I'm like, there's no way it's $1,200, $1,300. This is going to be 5% down. Holy shnikes. I should cut this out, but you guys can realize I make mistakes too. So we're going to go through here, and now it's saying you need PMI. And that was the thing that I was confused with prior to, because this calculator never used to have that in here. But what you have to do in here is you have to actually put in the calculation. So move this over to about 0.5 or 0.7. Right between that range. Okay, 0.7. And again, I'd rather this number be higher and then the number come in when you finally buy that house a little bit lower. But if you want to get precise, you'd have to put in your application. I'll give you my information here at the end. But this is going to be as close to that number, or what your payment's going to be, as you can possibly get. So it's going to give you your principal and interest, Your PMI, you're going to have to pay mortgage insurance because you didn't put down 20%. Now, if you're a first-time home buyer or you meet specific criteria, this could kind of go in half in some cases. Then it's going to give you your taxes, real estate taxes, your homeowner's insurance, and this is your total of payments. Okay, and you can break it down, and this calculator gives you all kind of information down through here, and you can tweak it, save it, and do whatever you want with it. So there we have this calculator on our website and many, many more. So I didn't mean to bore you with these calculations, but a lot of people, the biggest questions are, Dan, what would my mortgage payment be? I'm just trying to teach you guys how to do that on the fly. So my name is Dan Frio. Like I said, hopefully I can win your business. If you're out there looking to buy that first house or looking to refinance, just reach out to us at therateupdate.com. Let's go right back to that right now. And you can see that right at the top. There's all of our information. And we'd love for you to give us a call. You can move right in the front of the line. So call us at 844-775-5626. That's it for today, and that's it for, I will be back tomorrow, so I won't go say it. That's it for the week, so can't wait to see you guys back here tomorrow morning. Start and seeing how this mess ends for another day. So thanks for watching, folks. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.